Good afternoon again, Saints.
Good afternoon.
It is my pleasure, my honor to introduce to you Mr. Roland Martin from Newsnet Now in the Roland Martin Show. So if you can join us up here, he's going to talk to us.
So how are we doing? All right. I'm certainly glad to be here. This is the sixth church service we've been to this morning. We have been moving around this morning. I'm in town because in about an hour I'll be keynote speaker for the Akron NAACP's Freedom Fund dinner. This is the second year in a row they invited me to speak, so I guess I didn't offend too many folks last year, challenging them in sort of the way that I do every day on TV One's News One Now, as well as the Times on the morning show. We've been visiting various churches because obviously we have a critical election, so we've been encouraging folks to go out and cast their votes and to allow their power that is in their hands to actually be used. It is amazing to me how many of us don't even acknowledge the power that literally exists with a ballot. Last church I said this year, you know your power is significant when there are forces who will do anything they can to prevent you from using it.
Yeah.
When you have a situation where they only have one little voting site in the entire county for you to vote during early vote. When in North Carolina, they specifically targeted black voters by getting rid of Sunday voting because they were afraid of souls to the polls. When you have massive voter suppression happening across this country, that says a lot when you talk about the power of the ballot. But also, I think it was important for us when we talk about voting, because one of the issues that I've said to many pastors across the country is, I said, stop using the argument of there are folks who died for your right to vote. And when they often talk about that, they speak about folks who were killed in 1930 and 40, 50, and 60. I interviewed a brother yesterday here in Summit County who had an uncle who was nearly beaten to death because he was trying to register folks to vote in the 40s. And he said, I have to always vote. And I made this point that to make it relevant for this generation, you have to do this thing in a different way. So let me do it this way. So if the children that are in here, just step up for a second. I think sometimes we have to make this thing real. So young man right there, come up. Sister right there, come up. Look, now I guess now grown folks, y'all know y'all not children now. So I think it's easy to spot who are children. So come on up, come on up. I believe in making things visual for folks to understand. So just stand right here, just turn around. Y'all turn around. You stand right here, Come on, don't be scared. Okay, y'all not in jail, so y'all can actually smile. It's okay. Smiling is important. Okay. Come on. See, that's right. She's smiling. That's how you do it. That's it. Big smile. So let me put it to you this way. If you vote early today or you go on Tuesday, you are not just voting for yourself, you're voting for them.
Amen.
You're voting for them. You're voting for Tamir Rice, who's not here. You're voting for Aiyana Jones, who's not here. You're voting for John Crawford, who was killed in the Beaver Creek, Ohio Walmart, who's not here. You're voting for Rakia Boyd, who was killed by Chicago cop Dante Servin. You're voting for Laquan McDonald. You're voting for numerous brothers. You're voting for Freddie Gray. You're voting for numerous brothers and sisters across the country who, as a result of issues with police, are not here. But for the kids who are here, do understand they cannot vote. So the people who we are electing to be on city councils and county government, to be on county commissions, state reps, state senate, governors, presidents, members of Congress, do understand that the action that they are taking today impacts every single one of these children. School boards are impacting every single one of these children. We have to recognize that going to the ballot box is not just about us, it's about them. And so your vote is a generational thing, because literally do understand that what you decide today impacts their children's children. See, we have to think far beyond what you're doing today. Your prayers to many of you are here today because some don't have to think about it that way, but do understand that we are surviving because somebody, a grandmother, a grandfather, a mother, a father, a great-grandfather, the ancestors, they were there, put prayers in. They were fighting for something then for today. They were thinking about 2016 in 1916.
Come on.
They were thinking about that. And so we have to think about it that way. And so many of us are saying, yeah, but I don't like the choices. But let's be clear, one of them will be in office. Whether it's president, senate, Congress, governor, state rep, state senate, county, city council, does not matter. There will be a winner. There will be no such thing as a seat will go unfilled. And so we must be willing to ask ourselves, what are the issues that I care about? And what do I care about before my children? And I have to then elect somebody as a result. But let me say this. After Tuesday, I need you to then say, what now?
That's right.
Because somebody you vote for may not win, but it doesn't matter because you are still a constituent.
That's right.
It doesn't matter if you voted for a Democrat and a Republican win, you are still a constituent. It doesn't matter if you voted Republican and a Democrat win, you are still a constituent. Voting on Tuesday is the end of one process. Wednesday is the beginning of another. And so what I want us to do is also go beyond Tuesday to think about what's next. How do we organize? How do we mobilize after it has happened, as opposed to doing something now? I'm criticizing on social media all morning. All of a sudden, members of the media realize that voter suppression is an issue. So now they decide to discuss it on Sunday when the election is 2 days away. But where were they 3 years ago and 4 years ago and 5 years ago before the laws are passed? And so your pastor said it has to be personal.
That's right.
Voting is personal.
That's right.
Voting is personal for you, and this vote is personal for them. And we have to be willing to say after Tuesday to anybody, even if they are black, if you are not doing right by us, we will take you out. That you will be a first term or a second term, but if you are not doing what's right by the community, what's right by our children, we are going to replace you with somebody else who will. Now, I know somebody's sitting here and you're probably telling me, well, I hear you, but I just don't see it. So they put this just in historical terms. There literally are more people, there are more children who are up here right now than there were a number of people who were sitting in a church basement in Montgomery, Alabama in 1955. Do you understand that? They decided to launch the boycott, Montgomery bus boycott. Here's the other piece. That was never designed to be 381 days. Go back and read the history. It was supposed to be a one-day boycott. But 50,000 black people did get on the bus and they said, well, let's do this tomorrow. And then they said, well, that went good, let's do it tomorrow. And then they said, well, let's do it tomorrow. And then all of a sudden, in fact, they did not even ask for segregated busing to end. They actually only asked for respect of black bus riders, asked for hiring a few more black bus drivers. But then they were emboldened because folks did not get on the bus. And all of a sudden, they went from December 1st, 1955 to Supreme Court procedure in 1956. Then they said, well, what's next? Then they put their eyes on Selma, then Birmingham, and Albany, New York, and all of a sudden, the 4 college students in here stand up, please. You 4 college students, just stand up. 4 college students, just stand up. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's it. 4 college students in North Carolina A&T who chose to integrate lunch counters, just 4. They didn't ask for permission. They didn't ask for a baton to be handed to them. They didn't ask for any elders to bless it. 4 college freshmen just said, it's time to integrate. That thing spread like wildfire across the South.
Yes, sir.
So then they went to the next thing. So then we had the Civil Rights Act of 64, Voter Rights Act of 65, Fair Housing Act of 68. We begin to see changes across the country. And all of a sudden now, do understand that you go to India, There's an MLK Drive. When you go to Russia, when you go to Eastern Europe, when they were in a solidarity movement in Poland in the 1980s with Lech Walesa, they were singing "Let the Big Voices Sing." When they were in Eastern Europe fighting for democracy, they were singing "We Shall Overcome."
Yeah.
When they had the Arab Spring, they were wearing signs, "I am a man," the same signs black men were wearing in Memphis in 1968. The point I'm making is this here, that Jim Crow was brought to his feet because regular, ordinary people who worked jobs simply said enough is enough. It started with a handful of people in a church basement that literally brought Jim Crow to his knees and changed the world. I'm only saying this because somebody's sitting here right now, you're looking at me, you're saying, yeah, I know, but we not large, we not big, I hear you, but if a worldwide movement started with a handful of people in a church basement in Montgomery in 1955, you cannot convince me that with the number of people sitting in this room, you literally can't change Akron and then change Ohio and then change America and then change the world. So that only will happen if people of conscience are willing to go beyond their own situation, to go to think much larger, and to say, I'm willing to take a chance. They only planned a one-day boycott that led to the world changing. All I'm saying in 2016, you can think bigger and think broader, but you have to start with a one-day boycott. You have to start by voting for a ballot. And I keep saying you cannot have a strong America without strong states. Strong states need strong cities. Strong cities need strong neighborhoods. Neighborhoods need strong blocks. Strong blocks need strong streets. Strong streets need strong homeowners. And it requires just one person on that street saying, this is how we're not going to operate.
Yeah.
We could literally change the world if people of faith are willing to exercise their faith. But not just their faith, the works. Today is souls to the polls, that's works. Tuesday, that's works. Wednesday, that's work. It's a matter of us putting in the work. And I said this earlier to another church, that it will be a fight. There will be battles. But just like my alpha brother Burton Woodson Tandy said in 1937, we will fight until hell freezes over, and then we will fight on the ice.
Very important Tuesday that you vote. Again, let's put our
All right.